Welcome to the Overgivers Anonymous podcast. My name is Angela Mondor, also known as the Geeky Girl. In this podcast, we're going to be talking about some amazing things to help you get over overgiving. And welcome to this episode of the Overgivers Anonymous podcast. My name is Angela Mondor, and I'm also known as the Geeky Girl. I'm excited because, we're so close to October. October is my favorite month. So you don't know this already. Absolutely love Halloween. So I get to decorate for Halloween very shortly. Oh, so excited. We actually do an entire setup in our front yard, graveyard setup, if you'd like to call it that. It takes us about 3 or 4 weeks to put together. The children love it as they're driving by. We do it as a fundraiser every year. So we collect non-perishable food items as well as cash donations for a local charity that helps young people and, gives them a safe place to land every day, feeds them. There's a beautiful food bank there for them to use for them and their families. They help with tutoring in schools and all that kind of stuff, for their schoolwork. It's an amazing program that they have for our kids here in town. So that's how we support them. And it's absolutely a blast and fun for us. We have a beautiful time. Now, as much as it may take us 3 or 4 weeks to set up, the night of Halloween happens, and at about 9:30, everybody starts to trickle home. And there's really not a lot of action after that. And it takes us about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on the weather, to tear down and put it all away. And then November 1st, people drive by and it's all gone. So for me, October is full of fun and excitement, and it's an absolute beautiful time. Of course, fall happens. We've had a bit already, of course, through September, but it is a time of transition a lot of times in businesses as well, beginning of Q4, of course. And when we think about the things that happen inside businesses, this can be a very lucrative time for your business with the right planning and making sure that you're set up and ready to go for next year as well. So this is a very fluctuating time in business in terms of the things that happen. Like I said, it can be very lucrative, which means we're busy, but it's also an important time to take away to put some planning together so that you can actually cultivate a bountiful business. Your ability to make it through this quarter in the best way possible, setting aside time as well to plan for next year, really, really important. So, for me, that Halloween love moves all the way through this next month. So you're going to see in my next videos, of course, we're going to have some Halloween behind me. It's going to be a blast. Now, when we talk about choosing the right thing for your business, we talk about this a lot because as a neurodivergent human being, it's important for us not to try to fit inside everybody else's boxes. Don't try to be what everybody else is, but finding out what works for you is important. Now, the reason why it's important for you to choose things that align with yourself is because it makes it easier for you to get the work done. When we are passionate about what we do, you can't stop us, but when we're bored, you can't start us. So it's important for you to be able to align those things to yourself. Don't let anybody else shit all over you about what you should or should not be doing inside your business. Make sure that it aligns with you. So when you are putting these thoughts together and you're deciding what you're going to do for this next quarter and what you're ultimately going to be doing in next year, definitely want to make sure that the things that you are putting on that plan are things that you actually want to accomplish or things that you have the ability to outsource. Okay, some key points here. So I know for myself, making sure that I'm working on things that I'm passionate about, working on things that I feel awesome about, it becomes, I'm not working. I'm having a good time. I'm doing the things that make me feel good. And when I have to do things that don't make me feel good, it takes me a lot longer to either get motivated to get it done or just simply to complete it. Okay. So make sure that you find your own best practice for yourself inside your business. Make sure that you're building it in a way that you want to do it. If you think one day, I want to be a one-on-one coach, and you start doing it and go, this sucks, don't feel bad if you want to pivot to group coaching, or don't, feel bad if you're like, I don't even want to do group coaching. I just want to create courses. Whatever works for you, you can find your rhythm. I've owned this business since 2009, and it has gone through many iterations. I am not doing anything near what I was doing back in 2009, not just because tech has changed, but the business has evolved as I've listened to my clients, as I've listened to me, and as I've learned what I am best suited to help other people do inside their businesses. That is what led me down this path. So don't feel like you can't change, because you totally can. It's like, when you were a kid and you were like, I want to be a pirate for Halloween, and then you ended up being a witch. Okay, you can make a change. Definitely want to make sure that you're spending that time to think about yourself and be able to put this together, because through this fall season, you could have yourself a beautiful business where you are very busy, make sure that it's the kind of busy you like. Make sure you're getting the kinds of things that you're looking for. And so when you're focused on building these things, put together that concept. What do I want this next quarter to be? Where do I want to go with it? Planning is essential, because if you're not planning to do something, somebody else is planning to do something with you, because they'll drag you by the nose somewhere else. Somebody's going to shit on you and say, oh, you should be doing this. And you'll just say, oh, okay, that's easy, because you don't have to make a decision. Trust me when I tell you that making the decision is way easier than being led around by the nose. It could destroy your business. I don't say that lightly. There was a year when things really didn't work out well for me, and it was because I didn't make those choices for myself. I allowed somebody else to tell me how I should run my business. So take my mistakes and use them for your benefit. Don't do that to yourself, right? So when you're looking at what you want to accomplish, think about the end in mind. What is it that you're trying to accomplish by the end of 2024? What is this quarter going to look like? What are the things? Where do you have time to work? Where don't you have time to work? What's going to stop you from getting work done when you need to be getting things done? All those kinds of things. What does that time frame look like? Then put together your concepts now. We did do SMART goals a few weeks ago. And then last week, we did an entire episode on how to break out your tasks and figure out what you could do, what you can delegate. Those are some great episodes to go back and listen to as you're planning your next quarter. And of course, looking into 2025. You might think it's too early to look at 2025, but I can guarantee it's not. I started looking into 2025 and planning that in August, okay? Depending on your business model. When is the right time? Sooner rather than later. Don't leave it until New Year's Eve when you're making your New Year's resolutions, because I used to do that and it cost me a lot of money. Don't want you to be in that boat, okay? So find some time to go through and do those things for yourself. Of course, we will have the yearly planning party coming up. If you're wanting to join us and do stuff like that with the Rockstar Success Circle, we got your back on that. We had a lot of fun doing that throughout the year. But you want to be able to infuse your business with some joy, to be able to find the things that you love about your business, to spend more time doing what you're good at, which is your circle of brilliance, and really be able to hone that so that you're spending more time there than the tasks that you don't like. You will find that you will make more money. You'll be able to take that money and then apply it and get help. You can outsource. So that's the concept. In the very beginning, we have lots of time, or maybe don't have lots of time, but all we have is time because we don't have the money to invest. But then as the business grows and you start to see profit in the business, now you can use that money to invest in having somebody and outsourcing work to them so that you have more time to spend on other things that you'd rather do. And then of course, that's what builds your profit in the business. So if you're stuck still and you're not in profit, spend time focusing on profit. How do I get to profit? And then now you can spend once you get to profit, now you can say, okay, what are the things I need to delegate? And then you can start to grow that profit margin. Okay. So stay inspired, stay energized, have lots of fun through this time. It's going to be busy, but it's going to be a blast. Of course, we have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. There's a bunch of holidays, Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah. There's so much going on coming up in the next couple of months here. And sometimes it's going to be, here's the chunk of time I need to spend with family versus how much time I'm going to spend with working on my business. So make sure you account for those things. Make sure you account for the amount of time you're able to put towards the projects that you're going to take on right now. Don't put too much on your plate. Just put enough on there so that you can grow your profit margin. Outsource the things you need to so that you can grow your profit margin even more in 2025. I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you take a few minutes, definitely at least a few minutes, to put a plan together for yourself for Q4. But then also in Q4, take some time to plan out for 2025 so you're not left behind when it begins. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening to the Overgivers Anonymous podcast. Your support means the world to me. You can find show notes for this episode and other goodies at overgiversanonymous.ca. And if you enjoyed this episode or you enjoyed the podcast in general, why not join us in the Overgivers Anonymous Facebook group, where you can connect with overgivers from all over the world. Head on over to geekygirl.ca/group.